So here's the thing. I owned a Mark IV Golf when I started this channel, and then bought a GTI Mark IV which I owned and modified and had a lot of fun with, but then eventually I got bored of it because it was the only car that I'd had for the past 4 years of driving, so I wanted something different. So I sold it, but the thing is, the project was incomplete. So since selling it, a lot of you guys have been screaming for more Mark IV content. At the moment, I own an Audi A4 and a Corrado, which I both love to pieces, don't get me wrong, but I miss having that little toy that I can play with. And this is where Car Vertical have jumped in and saved the day. They didn't buy me this new sofa, I found this. But they've set me the challenge to find a Mark IV GTI, improve it and modify it, all for £2,000. But the Mark IV Golf price is on the rise, so is this even going to be possible? Right, let's go find out. Here is the plan and here is what I'm thinking. So there's £2,000 on the table. I need to, obviously find a car and modify it in that budget. Improving could be anything to do with power, handling, or even looks. So I've made a little table chart of an example of what we could do. So the budget is obviously £2,000. I need to find a Mark IV for ideally under £1,000 so that I can have at least 1,000 on maintenance and then any sort of upgrades. I reckon a big chunk of that money is going to be going on maintenance parts, so like gaskets, seals, servicing, oil, things like that. And the other half is going to go towards modifications, so it's either going to be power or looks. This is where I need your guys' help. As much as this is my job doing this car, I want your guys' opinions. It's going to be a big deal on the channel. A lot of you guys love Mark IVs like me, so getting another one, I need your advice. So do we spend the money on making it powerful and whatever we've got left for handling, or do we focus on the looks, making it look clean, get some nice wheels, decent body kit, lights again? So I've been talking to a couple of people with some Mark IVs for sale and we're going to go look at one of them now. So I'll catch up with you guys when we're on the road. Before even looking online for any new Golfs, I told myself I didn't want a silver one because I've been there and I've done that and I'm bored of it now. So we found one in a different colour about 15 minutes away, which we're now going to go take a look at. It's on nearly 200,000 miles. It has supposedly had its clutch done. It's apparently had the head gasket done as well as a new starter motor, but there's no paperwork on that, so we're not going to take it as gospel. But if this one isn't as good as it looks, there is one which is 2 hours away, which I've also been speaking to the owner of. So hopefully the first one's good because I don't really want to travel 2 hours away. Anyway, before heading out, I used Car Vertical to give this car a thorough history check. So thank you for these guys for sponsoring the video, and let me quickly show you guys how it works. Before I jump in and tell you guys about Car Vertical, I just want to give them a massive thank you, because without them this whole series wouldn't be possible. I wouldn't be going to look at a Mark IV Golf and you guys wouldn't be able to see my face in this 6-part series. So Car Vertical, you might have heard of them before. They've featured on websites such as Top Gear and Forbes. It's essentially a car history check. You type in the reg or the VIN number and it will come up with any hidden damages, mileage rollbacks, anything maintenance wise, every single MOT check. So this one here is the Golf that we're going to look at now. It goes through things such as mileage, theft, accidents, or even if it's been used as a taxi, and all of them are clear, thankfully. It's quite a high mileage car anyway, so I wouldn't expect it to be rolled back because it is near 200,000 miles. Damage, there's no significant accidents while analysing the history. I think it checks anything that's on record, so anything that would make the car a Cat C, a Cat D, but it hasn't been listed in the car advertisement, it would let you know here. Thankfully, the Golf is all clear, this one that we're going to go look at. However, they've sent me an example car of an Audi A3. Mileage is all clear, theft is clear. However, this vehicle has been damaged in an accident. So if we go to the damage report, we can see that the front bonnet has been damaged from bumper, the airbags have gone off. So it's all useful, you know. That could tell us that it was just in a slight knock and the car just needed, you know, new ones of them, and it was great. But thankfully, they have a cool thing where they show all the pictures of the accident as well. So we can see that this Audi A3 has been absolutely mullered. If you bought that car and you didn't know it was in an accident when it looked like that, I'm sure you would much rather know. So if you guys want to check this out before even going to look at a car, you can jump on Car Vertical. In the description, they've given me a link for you guys to use which gives you a slight discount. So give it a try, definitely worth doing, as it gives you a heads up. Thank you again to Car Vertical for this series, and let's continue on with the video. It's good news from this Golf. Everything was clear on here. I'm going to let you know now that I did buy it. We didn't get any footage of actually looking around the car there, but we did buy the Golf and we're going to go take a look around it now, so enjoy. Like I said, we did find a car. We found a Mark IV. It was the first one that we went and looked at. Few problems with it. we will address. It was up for 850. I got him down to 750. I know everyone wanted a 3-door and I wanted a 3-door as well, but unfortunately I can't really be picky with the money that I've got. So it ended up being a 5-door and it ended up being a very controversial colour. But anyway, let's just reveal it. Here is the new Mark IV GTI. Here it is in a lovely flash red, I know. Bit of a weird colour. Before we go anywhere, let's talk about the bad bits. Let's just take a quick walk around the whole car. Bit of rust here. The whole lacquer has been kind of stripped off. The previous owner's been trying to buff it out with teacup, but it's not really doing any favours. The paintwork on the whole car is a bit shite, I'll be honest. There's a serious lacquer peel problem here. To be fair, the doors are all right. It's just mainly the bumpers and the back wing, whatever you want to call it. It is a 1998 Mark IV, which means it's got kind of some of the old basic stuff which you didn't have on the newer Mark IVs. For example, these alloys. I think these are the Monza 1s and there's Monza 2s which are on the later cars. And the earlier Mark IVs also had the cool Recaro seats, but as you've seen, these have got some seat covers on at the moment. They're hiding the seriously damaged bolster on the driver's side, but we'll get to that. And it always has that smell. Weird smell. Moving round to the back. If you've seen my things to look out for when buying a Mark IV, this was a big one. Obviously on the other Mark IV, it wasn't bad. This one's pretty bad. The rust on this boot handle. The whole thing's kind of caved in, but it still works, but it's just a bit broken. It's got these absolutely wicked rear tips and the cat. The cat is still installed in this car. Oh, number plate light is hanging out. I don't know what system this is, but apparently the previous owner found these at a scrapyard for £20 and bought it and installed it. We'll turn the car on shortly because it does have a bit of a rumbly sound to it. GTI badge has a weird green eye. I've never seen that before. I'm going to show you the worst bit now. It's got a different bumper on it. You can tell because the silver paint is shining through and it's all cracked all along the front. Right, do you just want to take over? Go on then, you talk about the car. Talk to the camera. I swear she can understand English. Yeah, nothing serious, but it just makes it look unpretty. The bonnet is seriously faded. Show you the thing that you've all been waiting for. Is it a 1.8 turbo? Is it Duff? Yes. Yes, it is. The AGU 1.8 turbo engine. It's the older one with a cable throttle. Okay, what we got, Duff? What we got? No, Duff, we actually do have to get on with the video, so I'm gonna be rude and ignore you. Pretty standard engine, to be fair. Older 1.8s. There's a small oily leak somewhere in the bottom of the engine, but it's a standard engine. It hasn't really been modified, but it could do with a refresh of some things. Like we've got clearly, obviously leaky injectors. Yeah, that's it. Scratch up the paintwork even more. Probably leaky valve cover gasket as well. Oh yeah. No, I forgot to say. It's got, oh, she didn't like that. It's got wobbly wing mirror covers, which is kind of a good thing because, well, it's not a good thing, but the good thing is the owner has given me some new ones in black. What do you reckon? Red and black? Here we are, back in another Mark IV. I'm excited for this series and I hope you guys are too. The main difference in this car compared to my car is that it's got these Recaro seats. These are so good. I wish mine had this. They're so, even though, like you can tell, it's been through many years of torture, but they hold you in really well. Standard Mark IV really, nothing fancy. The gear stick is a bit wobbly. So maybe it's just the linkages down in here or something. Haven't really looked into it. Should we start it up? Listen to the, so. No, you don't think it's got electric folding mirrors? Should I test it? Nah, out. Oh, there's a loose battery connection probably. Oh. No? What's all that about then? I'm confused. I actually really got my hopes up. Nope. Got some Googling to do. I got really excited about that. Anyway, we were about to start the car up. Yeah, I think it could do with a service. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Should we take it for a really quick drive? Let's go. Before buying the car, when the previous owner took me on the little test drive, he seemed pretty confident in the car. The way that he was, you know, almost redlining it, chucking it around corners, he seemed pretty trustworthy of the car. I'm not quite sure I'm on that level yet. All right, should we see what this car can do? Second gear pull. Yeah, we should. Here we go. Nothing too exciting, but it's smooth. It's not exactly powerful, but yeah, that's 150 brake, I guess. Let's see if this car has traction control. It doesn't have traction control. But it's never been very good at putting the power down. That's what I remember in Mark 4s. And that's why I was so surprised when I drove Adams that there was none of that jumping. It was just smooth power. Maybe it just needs coilovers, new top mounts, maybe a new dog bone mount could help it. Let's go, second gear, go, go, go. There we go. It's not bad. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not. It's got potential. I can see why Mark 4s were given that name of the worst GTI ever, because in standard form it is pretty boring. But I like them, and a lot of people like them because you can spice them up, make them into something so much better. Handling around a roundabout, not great. I'm excited to get started with this car. I think first things first, I'm going to order all the maintenance parts, and we're going to do that in the next video. We're going to do things like the valve cover gaskets, injector seals, probably take the sump off, replace the pickup pipe, have a check for any boost leaks, any hoses that could do with replacing, and we're going to get the car jacked up and see what the suspension is like as well, and possibly change the suspension for the next video. Raceland's hopefully hit me up. But the only thing is I've got to stay in this budget. We're going to see if it's going to be possible to make a nicer Mark IV out of £2,000. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you again to Car Vertical. If you want to check out the link in the description, if you're thinking of buying a car and you need to give it a quick once over, definitely try Car Vertical. Thank you so much to them, because without them, this car wouldn't be in my possession. If you're excited for this series, please drop a like. Subscribe if you are not subscribed already. I know a lot of people watching this are probably not subscribed, so think about clicking the subscribe button. There's going to be at least 6 full to the brim videos of this car. Because we're only really focusing on 6 videos, I'm going to try and cram as much in as I can, but still make it interesting, because I don't want to bore you. But thank you for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.